So in this session, we are going to talk about, before I going to talk about the dual control concept. Okay. So just we need to understand when we do any configuration, right? When we create any master data or when we create any transactional data, all the data will save in the table, right? So let me open SAP. SAP 16. Okay. So in this, all the table, I mean, when I save anything, all the data will store in the tables. Okay. So now, as of now, we are talking about the vendor, right? So the vendor normally, if you recall, earlier I mentioned that SAP introduced in a German language, right? First, it was introduced in a German language. So the ABAP language and everything was written in the German. Okay, that is the reason when you observe all the table names also in the German language. Okay, so in English we can call it as a vendor, and German we can call it as a Liebner. Okay, so this is the German. That is the reason if you observe all the tables will be in a German code. Okay, so if I open LFA1, which means vendor master data general section, right? So if you recall, okay, if you trying to recall vendor, we have three segments, right? For vendor, we have a general, company code, and purchase organization, right? So as of now, we are discussing about the general and company code, right? So for the vendor table, when you talk about LFA1, which is related to the vendor general, right? So if I talk about the LFB1, vendor company code, okay, these are the two tables, LFB1, okay, company code, okay. So if I, for example, if I open LFA1, what is my vendor?
8,000.
8,000, yes. 8,000 is my vendor, right? So if I click on this 8,000, this is my vendor, 8,000, right? HP laptops. So this is the general information of the vendor, city, name, okay, purchase, I mean, PO box number, address, and everything is the general information of the vendor, right? If I click on this LFB1 table, if I directly click on my company code, these are the vendor company code information, right? For example, if you open this XK02, K02, here we created the vendor, right? We have a three segments: general data, company code data, purchase organization. So I'm trying to explain the data which we saved for this vendor. This general data is saved under the table of LFA1. Okay. So in the same way, the company code data for this vendor was saved in the LFB1, right? So table name. The technical name for this, sorry, the German name and also the technical name for the vendor is Lifner. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about, for example, we discuss about the vendor master data, right? So earlier we created the data, and also how we can create the data with XK01, we can create a vendor master data, right? If you want to do any modification to the existing data, we can use the XK02, right? So in the same way, if you want to display the data, is a vendor creation, right? Next, changes. Okay. And this is the display. You can use XK03, right? So in a dual concept. Now we are talking about the what is the dual control. Dual control is nothing but I am changing some information in the vendor master data. Okay, but I need an approval before because when I change the data, for example, my user ID is SU. For example, my name is sorry, my user ID is user ID 20. For example, if I user ID, if I make any changes in the vendor master data, it goes to the proper approval. Okay, the other user can confirm that, and they once they will confirm, then only the existing changes will done. Okay, because I cannot directly make the changes. That is the reason we can call it as a dual control. Dual control means nothing but one person make the changes in the vendor master data. Okay, and another person approve or confirm it. Okay, got it? Now you understand
Got
the
it.
what I mean by the dual control. Okay, now we can go the settings. SPRO, IMG reference, financial accounting view, accounts receivables and payables, vendor accounts, master data. I'm talking about the changes in the master data. So vendor master data, preparation of the vendor master data. Okay. After this, define sensitive fields for dual control for vendors. Okay. If I click on it, this is the account type. We already aware of this account type K belongs to vendor. Right? So if I click on new entries, okay, it is asking me the field name, right? So if you're able to recall what I mentioned, SC16N LFA1, right? So if I click on LFA1, these are all the fields. Okay, these are all the fields in this table. These are all the fields. Something like in the general section, we have a fields, right? Country, name, name two, name three, city, PO box, all these things. So the technical name is nothing but these are all the STRS, IRGO. These are all the something like for example, LADN1, land one. Okay, if I copy this, so country one, right? So what I mentioned, SAP introduced in the German language. That is the reason all the technical names you can see in the German language. Okay, the technical name means the German language. Okay, so if I click on this, what is the G term? These are all the fields, right? Now you got my point, right? In this table, these are all the fields, and these are all the technical names, which means German language names. Okay, I will close this. So, click on this. I need to select the field because for one specific field, I'm giving the dual control. Okay, so what is my LFA1? LFA1. Okay, you can do the LFB1 also. LFB1 related to the company code level. Okay, so LFB1, you can take any. Okay, here I'm selecting the LFB1 G terms, which means the terms of payment, right? Earlier we discussed about the terms of payment, right? Okay, what is the immediate payment and 30 days payment? Okay, so I'm taking this dual control. So I'm telling the system for this table LFB1, the field is jet term. In this table, LFB1 table, the field is jet term, should have the dual control. Okay, which means only single person cannot make a changes. Once one person can change it, and another person can approve it, right? So I did this configuration. Now what I did, I mentioned the account type vendors. This is the sensitive field, LFB1 in this table. This G term field is a sensitive field. Okay, so which means that the system will activate the dual control for this. Got it?
Got it.
So, so if you try to observe, for example, we have a message types, right? For example, when we posted any document or when we created any vendor master data, we receive this message type of information. For example, if I posted any with the help of FB50 or FB60, when I posted any document in SAP below screen, we got a pop-up like the document was posted, right? So which means information. The system is telling that so and so document was posted or so and so vendor was created, which means the information message, right? So apart from this, we have a warning messages. Warning message is nothing but when we are performing, system is telling that please check whether doing correct or not, right? Warning, warning messages, right? After that, what are these three are the messages related to SAP. Okay. Next is error message. Error message is nothing but when we are doing anything wrong, the system will tell you that are you doing the so are you doing the wrong procedure? That is the error message, right? So in SAP we have a three messages. One is information message. System will tell you whether the document posted or entry posted any information is telling. After that, warning messages. Okay. So you tell me what is the difference between warning messages and error messages?
Warning is just we can proceed after that. It is
Yes.
just informing us that this might go wrong. And error we can't proceed.
Yes, exactly. So, but the warning message we can proceed, but error message we cannot proceed, right? So we can created the document yeah fields for this. After that, I will go to XK02. Here my vendor company is this one. TAMA general data payment terms. If you in which field I mentioned the payment, I mean sensitive field for the payment terms, right? Payment terms belongs to LFB1. Right? LFB1 belongs to the company code level. If you try to understand company code level, the field name is G terms. G terms is nothing but payment terms, right? So if I click on it, so if I close this, if you observe, I'm getting a message as changes has not yet been confirmed. Now you tell me this is the warning message or error message. This is a warning message, right? With of this. Yes. Now it is system is telling that changes for the vendor in company code TAMA has not yet been confirmed because I cannot change this, right? So let me open this another vendor. Okay. So the vendor is vendor number is 8,000. Okay. Let me copy this vendor. Hmm. I go back. Just you tell me. I'm trying to enter. It is I'm getting the warning message. Okay. So this is a confirm FK08 transaction. Okay. Here I can confirm. It is a, as I mentioned, it is for the company code level, right? If I confirm this, changes have been made, right? So let me close this. Let me open our user ID. This is our user ID, right? 20 SAP. Now you open XK02. Now the change we changed it, right? Earlier it was 001. Now we have removed the payment term. Earlier when we are trying to remove, the system is saying that warning message. If we receive the warning message because we activated the dual control for this field, right? LFB1 jet terms. So with one user ID, we made the changes, right? We made the changes from XK02. Then after that, with another user ID, we confirmed that with the help of this T code. This is a confirmation T code. With the help of FK08, we confirmed that the changes are correct, right?
Correct.
Yes. So now you understand the concept of how this field, sensitive field control will work. So, okay. So if I open this sensitive field control, so as of now, we did for only one field. Okay. So in the same way, if the business wants to activate the sensitive field for control for another field, as per the requirement, they can activate. Okay. So let me vendor customer, vendor accounts, master data, preparation of creating the master data, define field status vendors. Okay. So this is the vendor. Okay. If I click on new entries, so here you can find the multiple fields. Okay. You can apply the same for the multiple fields. Okay. So this is the concept of field status control. So if I mentioned earlier, it was a warning message, right? It's not a error message, right? So which, as you mentioned, warning message means we can proceed further. Error message, the system will stop you. Got it? So how we can transfer the warning message to error messages? Okay. In some situation, for example, this is a warning message, but I want that instead of when the user was trying to change from the XK02, they're getting the warning messages, right? Because this user is only for the, this field has a dual control. Okay. So I want to change the warning message to error message. So this is the T code OBA5. Okay. In this T code, what is my application area? Here we need to check the what is our application area. Okay. It is a vendor related or customer related. These are all the application areas. Okay. Master data maintenance. Okay. So where we made the changes, it is related to the master data, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So this is related to LFB1, the table LFB1, okay, related to the master data, right? Where we made the changes, vendor master data, right? So this is a master data related area, okay? So that is the reason application area is master data, right? So let me open XK02, XK02 here. When I click on this, here, I want to change the payment terms of 001, okay? If I save this, this is the information message. Okay, this is not an error. It's just system is saying the change to company code TMA must be confirmed. Okay, the system is giving the information. We should confirm. Okay. After that, when I click on it, if I save this, I'm getting the warning message. Right? The changes for the 8000 in company code TAMA has not yet confirmed. Okay. If I open this, the message number is there, right? So once we get any errors or warnings in SAP, we need to double click on it and we need to understand the exact requirement and also exact issue. Okay. Here the system is telling the changes for vendor 8800 in company code Tama have not yet been confirmed. Okay, which means some other user ID has to confirm. Okay. The message number is F2 F2226. Okay, changing the sensitive fields for vendor has not yet been confirmed. Okay. Now we need to change from FK0, right? Right? What is the message number? F triple two
Yes.
six, right? So F triple two six is working like a warning message or error message. You tell me,
Yes.
warning message, right? So no, it
Mm.
is warning message. It is working as a warning message. You can, if it is an error message, it will come in a red color. Okay. If it is a green color, it is information. Okay. If it is in yellow, it is warning message. Okay. If it is in red color, it is error message. So now I need to convert this F110 from warning to error message. Okay. So here, that is the reason I selected the application area is F2. Why the application area is F2? Because it is related to the master data, right? So I click on the new entries. What is my message number?
Okay. Equal to 6.
Yes, 222 You tell me changes for vendor in company code have not yet been confirmed. This is the error, right? Which we are trying to get when we are saving. This is the error, right? If you're able to
Yes.
recall, this is the error. Changes for vendor in company code have not yet been confirmed. Okay. So now what I will do for this is my user ID. Okay, here I will change the error, which means I'm telling the system this message should be error. Okay, warning error. Okay, got it. So I will close this. I will save this. Okay, so now I click on XK02. Block the message. Now you tell me what is the error now? Well, now you
I'm
understand the point, right?
having
For example, earlier it was yellow. Now it was converted to red, right? Changes for the 8,000. Same message. Earlier it was showing as a warning. So when you click on enter, it will proceed. Now the same message was converted from warning to error. Okay. So for this, what we need to do, if we need to check the changes, I need to open the just I will confirm this. You are allowed to confirm the general data. Confirm. Okay, now the changes are saved. I will close this. This is another user ID. Okay. So this is the user ID 82 user 29. Okay. So I will go back to the screen. I will close this. Now we can open our user ID. Just I will open the display mode. This is the payment terms. I will select only this one. Now it was changed, right?
yes.
So now we understand the what is the concept of this dual control. Not only the single field, as per the requirement, we can make the changes as per the required field. But all the fields are belongs to single table, right? So for example, yeah, JLFB1 is related to the vendor general company code. Okay, you got this concept, right?
Yes.
I will tell you the theoretical way of exchange rates. Okay. So exchange rate is nothing but earlier we discussed. Okay. So for example, our company code is India, right? Our country, our company code belongs to India. Okay. So our currency would be INR, right? This is our company code currency, right? So we can call it as it's a local currency 01. Okay. So when other currencies, we can treat as a foreign currencies, right? So let me open the settings. So we are not even we're not creating the exchange rate types. Okay. So just I'm giving the basic example of the exchange rate. Tomorrow we can discuss the complete in detail. Okay. So for example, my exchange rate type is M. Okay. So after this M, I'm telling that USD, how much of USD convert to INR, right? Valid from 31/07/2025. Okay. The ratio is 1:1. Okay. So in OBAS, OBBS transaction. I'm telling the system for the exchange rate type M, okay, USD equals to INR 1:1 ratio. Okay. So after this, OB08, we will mention exchange rate M valid from 31/07/2025. Okay. Here we have an indirect quotation or direct quotation. Okay. Direct quotation is nothing but when that conversion from foreign currency to local currency, it we can call it as a direct quotation. Okay. So which means USD to INR. INR is our local currency, right? So this is the direct quotation. Okay. So indirect quotation is nothing but vice versa. When INR equals to USD, that conversion we can call it as a indirect quotation. Okay. So no need to create the both of them. Any one we can create. Okay. You from USD to direct quotation. How many? $100. Okay. 100
Sorry,
to
I
INR.
will be back in some time.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. Exchange rate paid. So, to check.
Okay. So that I mean today we can continue for this exchanges. Okay. If you understand the concept of this um, field status, sorry, not a field status, sensitive dual control. Tomorrow we can completely discuss about the exchange rates. Is this okay, Nikita?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Have a nice day.